Hey everyone, it's Kevin Mullen with the Office of Youth Young Adult Ministry. Mission is to love and serve young people. It's your 2-Minute Tuesday on September 14th. NCYC Part 2 registration. Okay, yes, I still have a few tickets available. I'm talking 2 or 3 tickets. I've had several people inquire in the last couple days about adding some new kids with us to NCYC. So yes, you can still register, but you need to act as soon as possible. Friday afternoon, I actually got an email from NFCYM about NCYC, specifically about 2 things: their youth leadership opportunities and then COVID-19. If you are interested in having your kids help with some of the programming at NCYC, you can get your information to NCYC online. I'll put the link in the notes. This is a little bit different than their youth ambassadors programs that they've done in the past. I don't know if they're actually doing the ambassadors program again yet. I'm assuming they are, but I've not heard anything. This new program is really what it's about, is providing young people an opportunity to lead sort of mini sessions during NCYC. So it's a lot more involved in the ambassadors program, but it's a great opportunity for the young people to get actively engaged with NCYC. Then COVID. We met last week with all of the adults, and it seems like maybe I should have waited until Friday because there's some updated information that I got from the NFCYM on Friday. The long and short of it is, as far as masks, all participants will be expected to wear a mask in the stadium or the convention center. Then prior to NCYC, each participant will either have to confirm a negative COVID-19 test within 72 hours before the event, or you have to provide proof of vaccination. So either a negative test 72 hours before attending NCYC or proof of vaccination. I'm going to have to work out how we're going to gather that information. In fact, NFCYM is still working out the details of how this is going to go. I need you to know that this is the expectation for participation. So wearing a mask when we're inside, and then either a negative COVID test or confirmation of proof of vaccination. If you're unable or unwilling to abide with this policy, then you should not be coming to NCYC. So please make sure that your NCYC participants know about this. By all means, please let me know if you or if they have any questions or concerns. I will keep you posted with information as it becomes available. It's still a dynamic situation and things are changing. I do believe in the mission of NCYC. It's an incredible opportunity and an experience of the church, an encounter with the Lord, and providing formation for young disciples in a distinctly Catholic environment. So I'm going, and I invite anyone who wants to come along to go with us. All things considered, I know that NCYC this year will be an overwhelmingly positive experience. I trust that the Lord is in control, and I'm working like everything depends on me and praying like it depends on God. If you are planning a meeting with your group, your NCYC delegation, if you would like me to participate, please let me know. I can't promise that I can be at every meeting, and there's a greater likelihood that I could participate via Zoom if that's something you're interested. But if we can make schedules work out, I would be glad to help, and in person, again, if we can make schedules work. So that's the latest on NCYC. Again, I will promise to share information with you as soon as I have it. Okay, Kickball tournament is this week. We are on for Sunday, September 19th here in Helena. We're moving forward. As far as COVID goes, our guidance is that since we'll be outside, we do not require masks. Of course, they will be encouraged, and I will always defer to the preference of the parents and the individuals. And kickball is by nature socially distanced. Please register ahead of time. It's especially important for those of you bringing minors to have parents sign the liability waiver found on the last page of the handbook, which I'll include a link to that in the notes. As it always goes, lots of you will inevitably not register until the last minute. Although that's not ideal, I totally understand. You can hand me your registration and payments when you check in on Sunday. Nevertheless, please try to get your registrations in by Thursday night. If that's not possible, what I do need to know is a head count so that I can buy food, which I hope to do on Friday. So to that end, even if you can't give me an exact number and get your official registration in, I would really appreciate you sending me an email with an estimate for your numbers, and then you can turn in the physical forms and the payment on Sunday when you check in. It's $10 per person. That includes lunch on Sunday. This is a fantastic way to kick off your ministry year. Also, I need some volunteers to help as umpires for our game. So if you want to bring along some adult chaperones, but they don't want to play, but wouldn't mind being a referee and an umpire for us, let me know, because I'd love to get them connected to serve as a volunteer umpire for us. So that's the plan for kickball. I hope to see you all this Sunday. Please pray for great weather. NFCYM Region 12 meeting, I invite you next Tuesday, September 21st at 2 p.m. To join your colleagues from across the Pacific Northwest to share and discuss about what's happening in youth ministry in our region. We're casting a wide net here, so your official title, whether you're a volunteer, part-time, full-time, doesn't really matter so much as if you are an adult who accompanies young people in the faith, you are welcome at this meeting. So contact me for that Zoom link, but again, that's next Tuesday, September 21st at 2 p.m. Junior high rallies. Okay, mark your calendar. October 30th, we're going to be here in Helena at St. Andrew's School, and November 6th, we'll be at St. Matthew's in Kalispell. I will get registration and other information out to you as soon as possible. I'm working with the CYC board and getting some of that put together. But right now, what you need to know, these are day-long events, and you're welcome at either or both. But my guess is that parishes or schools will join us for the one that's closest to them. The CYC board is working on a schedule, but it'll function similar to what we've done in the past. We'll check in around 9 a.m. with a 10 a.m. start. We'll have keynotes, music, sessions. We'll end with a mass and a dance. Rallies open to anyone in grades 6 to 8, and it's a fantastic experience, an opportunity to inspire your junior high youth and really to engage them with your ministry and kind of kick them off for the rest of the year. So again, mark your calendar and share the dates with your families, and I will get the registration info to you as soon as I can. Update on plans for the March for Life. I sat on a webinar yesterday with the Archdiocese of Washington and the people who are organizing their youth rally en masse. The most important takeaway was that they said their individual parishes will be unable to host groups overnight. I had tentatively confirmed a host location for us, but that doesn't seem possible now. So I'm going to go forward with looking at finding a hotel for us. That means the estimated cost of the trip will be significantly higher than what I had hoped for, but I'm still planning on organizing a trip. I've made a few phone calls, and I'm estimating the total cost of the trip, including airfare, will be somewhere in the neighborhood of $800 to $1,000 per person. If you are interested in going, please reach out to me. The general idea that we have right now, similar to NCYC, we would have a travel day on Wednesday to Washington, D.C. on Wednesday, January 19th of 2022, and each parish or school would organize their own airfare and transportation to D.C. Then Thursday, we'll have a tour of some of the Washington sites. We'll do things like see the National Basilica, the JP2 Shrine, the Holocaust Museum, Lincoln Memorial, some of that stuff. Friday would be the youth rally en masse, and then the march. Saturday would be a sort of choose your own adventure depending on sort of your age and interest. High school youth can go to the Pro-Life Summit. College students and young adults can go to the O'Connell Conference. And then I would schedule sort of a tour of Washington, D.C. for adults and those who don't want to go to the other conferences. So we'd hit some of those other highlights and things that we weren't able to make it to on Thursday. Then Sunday would be a travel day home. Again, this is tentative, but now that I've got confirmation that we're not going to be able to stay at a host parish, what I'm looking at offering are two options for participating in the March for Life. Option one would be sort of a full service. This would be for anyone in grades 7 through 12, and those in middle school, grades 7 and 8, must be chaperoned by a parent. Youth in grades 9 through 12 can be chaperoned by any safe environment, compliant adult. Anyone 18 or older must be safe environment certified. With option one, you're going to coordinate getting to DC, and then I'll take over from there. So your ground transportation, events and activities, food, liturgies, all that sort of stuff, I would coordinate. You're just responsible for getting yourself to and from DC. Option two would basically be you coordinate everything on your own, and then I will let you know where to meet us for the march and how to join us for liturgies, and I'll give you a t-shirt and some of that sort of stuff. So that's kind of what we're looking at right now. Again, everything is still tentative. I'm going to be working over this next week to solidify this, and I will share it with you as soon as I have it. Just a word about confirmation. I've had a lot of questions and conversations about confirmation from a lot of people in the last few weeks. First, it's really important to know that confirmation does not follow under OYAM's purview or my own job description. Nevertheless, the majority of people in our diocese who are responsible for confirmation in their parish are the youth ministers with whom I work closely with all of you. So in practice, I'm very familiar with the diocesan confirmation policy, and I work closely with those who are facilitating the local community. Briefly, the goal this year is for Bishop to do deanery confirmations like we did before the pandemic. Dates are being worked out between Bishop and the 6 deans. Of course, all of that is tentative and subject to change, but the number one thing is to make sure that you're communicating with your pastor and the dean of your deanery for all things confirmation. Even though Bishop Vedder is new, there have been no changes to our confirmation policy, and you can find those at dohyouth.org/confirmation. For those of you who've been around for a while, I'm sure you're very familiar with this. Briefly, the ideal is to confirm sophomores in high school who are actively engaged with parish life, especially youth ministry, as freshmen, and then they receive immediate sacramental preparation in their sophomore year, ending, of course, with receiving the sacrament. There's a lot of leeway given to each parish and pastor as to what sacramental preparation looks like for your community. That includes how many sessions you're going to host, what program, if any, that you use. And just these are not endorsements, but some of the popular ones in our diocese include Dynamic Catholic, Decision Point, Ascension Press's Chosen, Life Teens Purpose, and St. Mary's Call to Mercy. I also know, and what I actually encourage is that you find a program that you and your pastor like and then make it your own. Do not just copy and paste from any of these. Rather, use them as a primary source and then choose the parts that work for you and your community. I know that a lot of parishes will run programs every other year. Some will do it every year, and it looks different from parish to parish. Really about the only single universal must do for all programs at the diocese is that every candidate must participate in a confirmation retreat. Again, there's a lot of diversity and discretion given to individual parishes as to what constitutes a confirmation retreat, but every young person must participate in a retreat as a part of their sacramental preparation for confirmation. Again, confirmation, not really within my official job description, especially when it comes to sort of approving in a particular program, but I'm certainly here to offer whatever guidance and whatever advice I can give, which is always free, and some say you get what you pay for it. So if you have questions about it, please reach out to me. But for this year, we're on track or hoping that Bishop can do deanery-wide confirmations in the spring and moving forward. So again, reach out to me if you have any questions. Other things I'm working on this week, we have NFCYM's fall board of directors meeting this week. Basically that means I'm going to be in Zoom calls for most of the day, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So feel free to contact me, but text or emails are probably the best way to get in touch. Since I serve as the secretary of the board of directors, I'm really looking forward to kind of participating actively in this meeting and looking forward to hearing about youth ministry from across the nation right now. Then I'll be working to get our group registered for the new youth ministers programs called First Things. This is really your last call to get in on this program for the semester. Let me know as soon as possible if you want to participate. I'm also working on a few CYC board things like our logos and designs with the officers, and I'm coordinating kind of our second board meeting details. That's a lot for this week. Thanks for listening and watching. As always, please pray for me, pray for our bishop, and together we will all pray for our young people. God bless.